Good morning, everybody. So, let's start in time. And welcome everybody to this year's Software-Defined Radio Academy. This is the 10th occurrence of our format here in Friedrichshafen. And my name is Markus Heller, Delta Lima 8, Romeo Delta Sierra. My colleague is Kjell Hartje.
Yeah, hello everybody. Nice to see you the 10th time, hopefully.
So, good to see you all here. I'm happy to have a lot of known faces here, but also a lot of new faces. And very particularly, I'm very happy that we have a special guest here in the introduction, who I'd like to welcome here on the stage. Please give a warm applause to Christian Enzfellner, Delta Lima 3, Mike Bravo, Prof. Christian, for your welcoming words, the microphone to you.
Hello, good morning everybody. As president of DARC, I very welcome you here to Friedrichshafen, and I'm very proud that I can say a few words to you in the opening ceremony of this 10th Software-Defined Radio Academy. It's a big honor for me, and Michael and Markus, thank you very much for doing this and organizing this for 10 years. It's a lot of work to do, and it's unbelievable what you did 10 years. And the interesting thing is radio amateurs are active in software-defined radio since 10 years. We do projects, make transceivers, do a lot of things. But we have, I think, a small problem. We do not have a real software-defined radio kernel. And for this, I want to announce that I want to establish a group who will define an open source software-defined radio kernel. Means FPGA, analog digital converter, so that everybody then can take this kernel and can build around this kernel his own software-defined radio applications. I think we don't have a very good and powerful SDR kernel, which is really needed to go ahead with software-defined radio. And for this, I want to establish an R&D group doing open source, this R&D. For this, I need software developers, hardware designers, and do this. And DIRC will sponsor this project. We will fully sponsor this project. That if you need money to buy FPGAs, you need demonstration boards, you need other hardware on this one. Costs a lot of money. So for this, I really want to spend money for this, that we get a public hardware kernel for everybody. And maybe we find companies who do this for a good price. And when we have a huge quantity of this, then I think the price will go down quite a lot. And I think this is really needed, and this is a dream for me to find such a team. So please, tell it to your friends, tell it to hardware designers, tell it to software designers, that I'm looking for such guys. I cannot pay money for this, but I can sponsor all the hardware, all the tools they need for this kind of project. And I think that's my contribution here to 10 years software-defined radio, and I hope we can find such a team. So I wish you big success for today. You have a lot of speeches and a lot of interesting things. My day is split in half an hour tact, where I have to go to open ceremonies to say thank yous, to say greetings, to have discussions with our members. So I wish you a good academy here, a lot of interesting speeches, and thank you to you for 10 years. Have fun.
Thank you very much, Christian, for the kind words and the nice invitation for us. And hopefully we find the time to talk with the people here and in future to talk with people who are interested in cooperation with this project. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, I think everybody can mail to Markus or to Michael if they have ideas on this project, or if they have email addresses or telephone numbers or Skype or whatever contacts. So please go to Markus and to Michael. Please collect the people who want to contribute or want to be member of this R&D group. Thank you. Have a good day. And I have to leave now because my next slot is 10:30. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Okay, good. So we would like to introduce the conference to you. Most of you know it already, as I recognize a lot of you. We share those slides one after another. So I'll take the first one. The SDRA, when we founded it, was always meant to be an educational conference. We thought about naming it as university. We didn't. We thought about academy, which is a little closer to what we wanted to do. It's a kind of self-teaching platform where you can make your way into the field of SDR. It was also meant to be a bridge format between the industry, between academia and the wide amateur radio community. And of course, we're a part of the Ham Radio Convention here in Friedrichshafen and have been a part of the Ham Radio Convention from the very beginning. And we're also an entity, community within the German Amateur Radio Club.
Okay, short to remind, who are we? Ingredients of a successful story. Myself, I'm professor at Hochschule Bremen for electrical engineering. Markus Heller is a computer scientist of a Munich-based private company. Then we have to remember that everything success is promoted by the video team around Sebastian. Thanks for all these years of your fantastic work. When I think when we were starting the first years, it was a very, very good increase of quality of the video. The incredible creative speakers we had all these years in the past. Incredible curious audience all around the world, not only here, but mainly here for the discussion. And the sponsors. The sponsors, mainly Professor Ulrich Rode, N1UL, and a German call as well. And a great audience today. Thank you very much to you. So the next question, I will start. We want to register a little bit more about you. What are you coming here? You are the great audience, and the first question is, how often have you participated in SDRA? Who one has been here every year? Oh, one. Okay, it's about 1%. Who, and then the next three questions are together. What is your experience, your projects, and your technologies, what you are invited or where you are focusing on? And I give you a short list, which I call, and I ask you to raise up the hands when you think, yeah, this is mine, and not only this one, all the others. And I say, you must wind your head around. I say, my estimation of percentage, how many are here in the audience? Well, who one has know and know to use RTL SDR? It's about 80%. Who one has used and some experience with GNU radio? Oh, it's about 70%. Who one has used HP SDR? Oh, it's about 20%. Who one knows, has used, and experience with Kiwi SDR? Oh, it's about maybe 10%. Yeah. Who one has used Lime SDR? Oh, very few people, only namely 2. I estimate about, I think it's about 5%. Who one has experience and know to use Adalm Pluto? Okay, yeah, this is about 15%. Who one has experience with Red Pitaya? 15% as well. Who one has used and experience with the program language Python? Oh, it is close to 100%. Who one has used or programmed or parameterized FPGA? Yeah, it's about 30 to 40%. Who one has experience with Ethos USRP? 20%. Who one has experience made with his own experience with high frequency or low frequency ADC and DAC systems in hardware? Yeah, it's about 50%. Fine. Does anybody know what is Aronia? I know these small dark beers. No, not beers, wie heißen die Dinger? Beeren. Berries, yeah, okay, thank you. Well, there's a company in the Hall A1 which has been a sponsor for 1 year for this conference as well. And who one knows Flex Radio or use Flex Radio? Yeah, it's about 20%. Okay, we now, yeah? Pardon? Blade RF, yeah, that's right. Well, you can add Hack RF, yeah, Blade RF. Okay, we make an additional question. Who one has SDR experience with systems or elements who are not named here? Please raise your arms. Okay, yeah. So it's about a good 50%. Yeah, thank you for the recommendation. Yeah, so we know a little bit more, and of course, outside at the video, the audience knows a little bit more about you. Okay, I pass over to Markus.
Okay, thank you. So we see that we have been able to form a really good community over all those past years. And, well, there are also sides of a community which are, well, how should I say that? Yeah, well, we have had losses here in the community. We've had 2 valuable members who have died recently. And one of them is Adam Farson, who has contributed in 2016, but who's always been around and has been a good partner in talks and discussions, but also Kjell Karlsen, Lima Alpha 2, November India, who has participated here in 2020. And we've written a obituary on them. So this is for Adam Farson, Alpha Bravo 4, Alpha Juliet, and Victor Alpha 7, Oscar Juliet, and Kjell Karlsen, Lima Alpha 2, November India. The HPSDR community, but moreover, all the SDRA community, is mourning the loss of two of our contributors. In March, Adam Farson, and now very recently this month, Kjell Karlsen, passed away. Both were speakers for our academy. Adam has been contributing his long professional experience in broadband technology at FTZ to assess and measure the properties of amateur radio transceivers, and particularly SDR devices beyond doubt. For example, he was using the noise-power ratio measurement method very early to assess large signal behavior of ADCs and the subsequent baseband processing that was used previously in wired pulse code modulation environments. In the meantime, also the big semiconductor manufacturers are using this method instead of just relying on SNR, SYNOD, or ANOP measurements. With Adam, we've lost a very valuable and highly regarded landmark in the field of quality assessment of SDR as well as conventional devices. Kjell deserves to be called an HPSDR founding father. Having been an avionics engineer in his professional life, he contributed all his competence and enthusiasm for the direct sampling technology to the HPSDR architecture. He played a key role not only in the combination of the three individual PCBs, Mercury, Penelope, and Metis, into one single Hermes board, but also in the development of the Alex filter board and the Munin 100-watt MOSFET power amplifier. His essential participation in the projects Odin and SDR console for the operation software Power SDR MRX and the standalone Andromeda HPSDR variant remains unforgotten. His two other hobbies, cross-country skiing and salmon fishing, must have given him the vast energy he was sparking into the HPSDR project. Let us never forget these two magnificent OMs and remember them with a minute of silence. Please, everybody rise. Thank you. So, in the next slides, we've been trying to figure out about ourselves. We've been reflecting about ourselves here, the format, where we are here in Friedrichshafen, where the hobby stands, where the topic stands, and so on. So, Michael, I'd like to forward the microphone over to you.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to start after big loss, but hopefully we can get it back here. SDR as a technology is the heart of amateur radio today when we look at the amateur radio transceivers at hall number 1. Mathematics and computer science, in addition to electronics and physics, is introduced into amateur radio. Formerly, it was only a soldering tool. The recent update in amateur radio exams to include SDR will be a big job for all nations. Technology orientation versus communication is a big question. Or should we say better both? Two people talking, two people writing. Yeah, the next is hand over to Markus.
Yeah, okay, good. I have a new microphone here. Yeah, we thought about what do we actually stand for here in this format. So we thought about the term amateur radio and what it means, what it is associated with. And we found that very often, or in the general public, it is still associated with what it was back in the 1980s. So the question is also, where do we stand today? What is today's technology? And yeah, my argument is always radar as a quasi-optical discipline. Everybody has radar in his modern vehicles in the moment. So this is probably the most advanced part of radio in general. And well, we don't want to be a museum society, but we want to approach and understand where we stand in radio technology out there in the general public today. So timing and positioning, which is something our friend Jean-Michel Fried is researching, plays an incredible role. So GPS technologies, everybody is using them, even in the cell phones. We have ionospheric research and whisper, which is something Michael has been doing a lot of research about.
And some of the audience.
Yeah. Where is he? Here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we have seen the development of specialized hardware. We have seen the development of specialized software. This is what we perceive as radio today, and we need to take it into focus. And so this has to play a role here in this format.
Well, we can do it together. Software approach is GNU Radio and FurStreaming. Who one has been at FurStreaming? Yeah, only a few, 2%, I say, or 3%. Transmitting versus receiving is the question. Who are the people developing GNU Radio? Well, I think we will have a talk about that. Software developers or radio engineers, what is our future? Are we software developers or are we radio engineers or radio hams?
Both, everything.
Everything, yeah, okay.
But this is the question.
Yeah?
We often see these contradictions. Well, if they are, we think there are no contradictions, but sometimes they're perceived as contradictions.
Are we lovers of applied physics or lovers of great codes? There's a question to you.
We see FPGA development, but we also see user space software development.
Yeah, we have one talk which gives us a good impression what is now the option when we have fast CPUs. And this is very nice to see that what has been in the past only implemented in FPGA could be now done with fast CPUs. Not everything, but a lot of it.
And we have an issue with advanced knowledge versus easy understanding. We have beginners and we have very experienced engineers. So the question is, what is our target audience? And we need to think about that. And we also have Eki Plicht here today, who is giving an introductory talk in German, just exactly to address beginners. And of course, we see an issue with age structure. So we need to bring in more young new hams into the community.
So if we miss this, we won't have any future.
And we also wanted to think about the SDRA and the site here, ham radio. We undoubtedly can state that SDR is the technological heart of amateur radio today. It's a strong statement, but I think it holds. The SDRA has been a strong contribution to the ham radio conference with 150 talks over the past 10 years. It's really a lot. And we've been a format for mathematics and computer sciences, in addition to what we've had here in the past and also further back than 10 years, which was electronics and physics. And there is one major development, I think, Michael, that's your topic.
I think here in Germany we can be very proud of that we got a new regulation for ham radio. And the state's format has been renewed. And there we had a part of it which is now relevant for SDR technology. And I'm very proud that it is included in the ham radio exams. Not at every class, but in total, when you get the highest class, you have to know and to show that you know that and can apply SDR. So this is very a good step forward, and maybe that the other nations here in Europe and worldwide have to do the same step.
Yeah, but we're still quite far distance away from the center of gravity in hall number 1. Well, here on the sheets we noted actually accidentally hall A1, which is obviously wrong, but this is actually where we want to be.
Hopefully we can do it in the next years.
So where are we going? We need to speed up a little. Actually, we need to speed up very fast. Okay. We shouldn't forget the beginners. German. We need to focus do-it-yourself tinkering approach. We need to focus understand the world motivation and get closer to modern everyday radio applications. And of course, the national clubs need to pick up the technology also. What's relevant for Germany is probably relevant all around the world, as the hobby is, or the topic is a worldwide topic. We need to, all around the world, we need to go into SDR and bring it into the exam levels and into the education. And there is a German saying, Tradition ist nicht die Aufbewahrung der Asche, sondern die Weitergabe der Streichhölzer, which I translate to English. Tradition is not about keeping the ashes, but about giving the firelighter to young people. So, let's speed up with the program. The next talk is a remote talk from Erwin Saleh about the Phobos SDR. Then we have Ecki Plicht, the German introduction. Then we have Christoph van Wöhlen about CW bandwidth optimization.
Together with Lawrence, yeah? Don't forget him.
Yes, they developed.
He has a longer journey to here.
Yes, that's right. We have a talk from Matthias Jung about teaching SDR and the development of the amateur radio license exams. We have Adrian Muschak with the DMR Tier 3 base station. And we have Lawrence Barker here, and they're exchanging here. They cooperated all the way. Lawrence is going to talk about the Saturn TX composite noise improvement. Yeah. Then we have a coffee break. So this is the first part, 4 hours. That's a big stretch, but we needed to pack those things together in the morning. 14 hours coffee break, then 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we start with Rob Robinett as a main speaker on high-resolution propagation measurements using Whisperson 8 beacon and an RX 888 SDR. Then we have our celebration with Professor Ulrich Rode and one Uniform Lima and others about our 10 years of Software-Defined Radio Academy. Then we have a remote talk from Thomas Bögel on problems and solutions in HF and UHF systems. Then we have another coffee break.
Before we go ahead, I should mention you, if you missed the coffee break, stay with the celebration. We have prepared a little bit.
Yes, we have prepared something in the celebration for you so that you can celebrate with us. So the last block is Rob Robinett again on behalf of Phil Kahn, who cannot join, unfortunately. So Rob Robinett offered to give a presentation on Phil Kahn's research and introduction to his KA9Q radio open source library running on Linux. We have a remote contribution from Josh Morman, who is the president of the GNU Radio project. And the last talk is from Ivar Straupe about the Anvelina SDR TRX. And then we have the conclusion, and at 18 hours we're finished today.
Markus, der Erwin-Seele ist nicht da, live.
Okay. I should mention a few SDRA rules. Join any talk as you wish. If you are outside at the computers in the network, please contribute with questions, and we want to include these questions here for the discussions of the talks. Please leave between talks, not only at the end. Admission is free. Don't walk in the front of the camera unless you want the world to see you. If you want to face to the world, well, come here, stand here, look to the camera, and make this one. If not, please go at the side and don't cross the camera view. We are streaming live to the internet, so if you are in Hall 1, you can take your phone and look at youtube.sdr.io, and you can comment every talk which has been held here. Okay, let's begin.
Let's begin.